Our first e-lesson is called the Think Tube, and it will help us understand even more about the nature of science. As we've been discussing, science is based on a desire to understand more about our natural world. And in order to do that, we clearly have to make observations, whether it's about the weather, the structure of a DNA molecule, how a heart works, the process of global warming. We make observations that lead us to wonder, why is that happening? How can we change it? How can we make things better? And in this quest, we often use models to help us understand what we've observed. These can be mathematical in nature. They can be physical, like building blocks. They can be drawings, or they can be graphical plots. But they all help us to understand things that we observe. I will be showing you 3 different events using this crazy thing called the Think Tube. Essentially, it's a cardboard tube with a bunch of strings that are connected to 4 spheres. We see a blue one, a green one, a red one, and a yellow one. Those help you orient the tube so that you can tell which things are moving and which ones are stationary. After you see an observation, I want you to jot down what you see on this table if you can find it. We were given this on Friday, I believe. If you can't find it, don't worry about it. Just use a piece of paper. So after I show you some amazingly exciting event using the Think Tube, you're going to jot down what you see, and then you're going to think about what must be going on inside this tube to allow that event to occur. After you've seen all the observations, you're going to see if you can come up with a model that explains everything that you see. It may not be as easy as you think. All right, here's observation 1. Not the most exciting thing, and you're going to see me bend in to turn the camera on and off. Sorry about that, but here we go. So I pull the red sphere, we see the yellow one move. And this is part 2 of the same observation. Pull the blue sphere, see the green one move. So, in your data table or in your notebook, describe your observations, and then see if you can come up with a model or a picture of what's connected to what inside that Think Tube. Here is observation number 2. Pulling the red sphere, green one moves. Sticking up my pinky finger so they don't get tangled up. Now remember, this is the same Think Tube seen in observation 1. But here we see that pulled the red, green moves, and vice versa. Now in your data table or in your notes, describe what you see and create a model that makes sense based on your observations. And here is your final observation. Pull on the yellow sphere, green one moves. Pull on the green one, yellow one moves. Remember, this is also the same Think Tube seen in observations 1 and 2. So now, in your mind, try to justify what's connected to what based on what you just saw. Write that in your data table or on your notebook paper. The Think Tube is known as a discrepant event. That means there's a discrepancy. Things don't kind of make sense. They don't fit together. You scratch your head and you go, what? So, each of your individual models now has to be justified